Chapter 9, Sneaking Out. The weekend after your mom grounded you and forbade you from seeing Gabe and Cass again, you find yourself in your room, where you've spent all of your free time this past week. You lie slumped on your bed, texting with Libby in an attempt to make the slow process of time feel a little less tortuous. How's lockdown life? Ugh, that fun, huh? Every day's a party. I can't believe you're still grounded. It's been over a week. Yeah, well, tell Terry Reese, doesn't punish often, but when she does, it's no joke. I'm so sorry. That really sucks. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. There's a certain class prez who clearly misses monopolizing your attention outside of school. And he's not the only one. Cass has looked even more pissed than usual since you've been grounded. The few times I've seen her, at least. Maybe it's a sign that she misses you too? Or maybe that's just her face. Hard to tell. Ha. I'm irresistible. I guess they just have to get used to me, I guess they just got used to me being around. I've been hanging out a lot with both of them since I moved to town. I bet they're just bored. Oh, come on. You know it's more than that. It's obviously they both like you. Define obvious? Actually, define like, too. Ugh, you're impossible. But, you know, you're gonna have to choose one of them eventually. Do I, though? You get your feet frowning down at your phone as Libby's words sink in. Gabriel and I have something special going for us. I can feel it, and he's so good to me. And I hardly believe it, but things are with Cass are obviously going somewhere, and it feels more and more serious from her end. I just don't want to hurt either of them, plus they finally started getting along, at least a tiny bit. Choosing one over the other would ruin things between all of us, and I don't think there'd be any way back from that. You turn around, planning to grab your laundry basket from the closet, only to find yourself face to face with Gabriel. Hey. Ah. You drop your phone in shock, and with lightning-fast reflexes, he catches it before it hits the ground. Sorry, I didn't mean to sneak up on you. I was thinking about you, and I really wanted to see you. Oh, that's sweet. I was thinking about you, too. You were? Yeah. Though I definitely wasn't hoping for you to scare me out of my skin. Ah, my bad. I guess I was just so impatient I kinda, flew through the window without warning. You let out a soft laugh, taking his hand. Thanks for coming to see me. Of course, and for the record, I've been thinking about you all day. Under normal circumstances, I would have avoided all this subterfuge, just rang the doorbell, but I know your mom isn't so fond of me right now. Well, I mean, have definitely been times where she liked you more. I'm sorry for being part of the reason you're grounded. If I'd made a better first impression, maybe things would have been different. Your first impression was as good as it could get. That's not the issue here. As I said, I said some things I wish I could take back. I mean, fair, but she's also mad about me taking you into the woods, which I've done more than once. You could pull the peer pressure card and ask my mom for mercy. Or clemency. There's the word. Or I could go to your mom directly, apologize about being a horrible influence on you, and maybe she'd ease up on your sentence. Nuh-uh, no way. I'm not letting you take the blame for anything. Besides, I like your influence. Since I met you, I'm not only learned more about the world around me, but I become braver. I'd say your influence is pretty damn good. It makes me feel a little bit better about pulling you deeper in all the vampire madness. He wraps his arms loosely around your lower back, resting his forehead against yours. Though I can't help still feeling guilty, I'll admit. I also was wanting to see you, so I could make sure you're still okay. You bask in the feeling of being in his arms for a moment, feeling safe and protected. Honestly, I'm at the point where I take a little vampire madness over the mind-numbing boredom of being grounded. You let out a massive sigh, eyes going into your chest. My mom left me a whole to-do list, laundry, dishes, vacuuming, and if I'm not done by the time she's back, she's extending my punishment. Well then, that gives me a personal stake in interfering with a cruel to-do list. You look up at him questioningly, and he quirks a playful smile. I can't ask you to go on a date until I know you've got your evenings free for one. Is that so? And how do you propose to run this interference? He's a vampire. He can just be like, phew, 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 all over the house. You know, he's good. Well, I do happen to have certain vampire abilities. You raise your eyebrows at the mention, and the offhand way he says it, as though your talk in the park the other day really did ease some of his angst. Or maybe it was what you got up to in the church after what that did the trick. You suppress a shiver, focusing back on him. A little of my super speed, and I could help you finish your chores twice as faster, actually. And my charming company would make them a lot more fun. You feel a thrill at the sight of his fangs as he grins at you, a bubble of excitement rising within you as you add how at ease he seems. Fun. I think I remember what that feels like. And when we finished early, we'd have enough time to hang out together before your mom gets home. He quirks a grin, as charming as he says it. He's drawing another laugh out of you. Tempting, but you really want to help me clean my house? I mean, the real draw is spending time with you. Diamond choice. I'm not gonna pass this up. Yeah, if a vampire says I'm willing to help you, you say, okay, let's go. I'm not about to say no to some help or some charming company. Great, just tell me where to start. The dishes. You grab him and bring him downstairs, briefly stepping away to throw the laundry into the wash, grab the vacuum. When you return, he's at the table of family photos, picking up a frame. Oh, is this baby Parker? You walk over and pluck the frame from his hands. This is not the opportunity for you to embarrass me over my baby pictures. Are you ready to work, soldier? Aye, aye, Captain. Good. Then I'd like to see what super speed vacuuming looks like. Oh, okay. Well, you could see it, and then you could see it. With a grin, instead of grabbing the vacuum from you, he grabs you, wrapping an arm around your waist and hoisting you up. Gabriel Aldhar, what are you... Hold on tight. He shifts you onto his back, and you barely have time to cling tight before he grabs the vacuum and runs. Your breath catches in your throat as your living room turns into a blur around you. Up and down the room you go, cleaning the floors at remarkable speed. Woo! But after a few moments, the speed and turn hits you with a vertigo, and you drop your forehead against the back of his neck. Okay, never mind, no more woo. Hearing your queasy tone, Gabriel quickly brings you over to the couch, sliding you off his back and onto the cushions. Sorry, I got a little carried away. Are you okay? The ceiling spins above you, but when you squint, you can make out his worried face. Play up my dizziness. Throw an arm over your forehead dramatically and pout. I feel like my head's gonna roll right off my shoulders. Here, let me help. The couch shifts, and then gentle hands take your head, lifting it so that Gabriel can settle it into his lap. He places one hand over your eyes, blocking out the light, while he massages your temples with his other hand. That feel any better? His touch is warm, soothing, and you feel all of your muscles relax, but you don't want to admit it just yet. I don't know. Maybe you can massage the knots out of my back while you're at it. You are so full of it, Parker Reeves. Sorry, not sorry. Removing his hand from your forehead, he brushes the back of his fingers down your cheek as he gazes softly down at you, bringing a flurry of butterflies to life in your chest. So I guess that makes us both opportunistic. Oh no, how will the living room ever get done? With you lying there looking pretty while I do the menial labor. He gently sets your head back down on the cushions as he gets to his feet. Sure, but take it a little slower. I'd like to admire the view. Now you could just say, take your shirt off while you vacuum. You, when the living room is done, you move the laundry from the washer to the dryer and then lead Gabe to the kitchen and the overflowing sink. Next stop, Dish Mountain, because we don't have a dishwasher apparently. Whoa, how do two people even make this many dirty dishes? They pile up. It takes a special skill and a ton of eating. He stares down at the dish pile for a moment before glancing back at you with a mischievous look. Me versus you, the first one done with their half of the sink wins. I'm game, but no vampire powers this time. As he lets out a laugh, his eyes return to their natural color and his fangs shrink. Curse you for taking away my only advantage. As much as I love seeing that side of you, I'm gonna even the playing field somehow. You each stand in front of your side of the sink, holding a sponge in one hand and your first dish in the other. Ready to eat suds, Albahard? Only if you don't mean that literally. Go! Shady. You feel both of your competitive natures kick in as you furiously start washing the dishes in front of you. A quick glance over at his pile tells you that you're in the lead. Yes! But he notices that too, and with a quick grin your way, he gives you a gentle bump with his shoulder. Wow, going in with the personal foul. Who knew Class Prez was a Class A cheater? Takes one to know him. He's trod on his foot, and he fumbles the bowl he's washing in surprise. Crap! No! But the next second, he has it firmly in his grasp again, amusement dancing in his eyes. Got ya. You let out a delighted laugh, only to throw up your hands as he flicks soap suds at you. Hey, give a girl a break here. What? You're the one who said no vampire powers. How else am I gonna win if you've taken away my only advantage? Well, if that's how you're gonna play it, then you can play dirty. You reach your hand into the standing water of the bottom of the sink and splash him at it. Ooh, did you just splash me with dirty dishwater? You look down at the brownish color and cringe, holding your hand away from yourself. Ew, God, yeah. What was I thinking? Now I have to cut my entire hand off. Splat! You're hit in the face with more soap suds. You turn to see him smirking at you. That's it. As fast as you can, you grab the faucet and spray him with the water. Okay, you win. Truce. That and you're only gonna make more of a mess. And that's why I'm the undefeated dishwasher champion. You put the faucet back into place and look smugly over at him, only to realize his shirt is soaked through. Oh crap, I'm sorry. It's fine, it's not that wet. When he looks down at himself, you can't help looking too, cheeks warming at the way his fabric clings to his skin, leaving little to the imagination. Zzz. Yeah, perfect timing. How about I throw your shirt in the dryer with the rest of the laundry? He raises an eyebrow, smile curling at the edges of his lips, and your cheeks flush with the sudden heat. I'll get you a spare shirt first, just hang on. No need. He grabs the hem of his shirt and slowly pulls it up over his chiseled stomach, only breaking eye contact with you when the fabric goes over his head. Thanks. He holds his dripping shirt out to you without an ounce of self-consciousness at the way he stands only partially clothed in front of you. Shamelessly oogle. Ignoring the shirt he holds out, you lean back against the counter, crossing your arms and slowly taking him in. What are you doing? Oh, is this not exactly what you were hoping for? I mean, there's checking someone out and then there's devouring them with your eyes. Well, when something delicious ends up right on my plate. Face reddening slightly, he brings the shirt closer to cover himself, though he looks beyond pleased. Now you're making me feel shy. When you've got all that going on, you've got nothing to be shy about. Grab the shirt from his hands and smack him lightly on the rear with it. Now do me a favor and mop up while I go throw this in the dryer for you, hot stuff. When you ask so nicely, how can I say no? Grinning, you turn on your heel and take the shirt to the laundry room, where you place it in the dryer, swapping it out for a basket of clean clothes. When you return to the kitchen, you linger in the doorway with a smile on your face as you watch him carefully mop the soaked kitchen floor. I take it it's not the spotless floor you're admiring? Not even close. You push off the wall, hefting the laundry basket a little higher. Come on, let's bring this upstairs. Sure thing. Taking it from you, he leads the way upstairs with the basket balanced effortlessly on one shoulder. Up in your room, he places the laundry basket on the floor and turns to you with a gentle smile. So, need help folding, or... You realize right then that today is the first time you've ever had Gabriel in your room, and looking at him completely at ease, he seems to feel right at home. It just feels right. You also realize that your mom would totally freak out if she knew you were alone together. Shaking your head, you dispel the thought. Because God forbid you have a life. I think I put you through enough work already. You've been a big help. Mostly because I needed this after being stuck in isolation for so long. So thanks for coming and cheering me up. I should be the one thanking you. Do you have any idea how boring it's been after school without you? Oh, come on. You're making me sound like the most interesting person ever. Doesn't sound like an exaggeration to me. He takes a step towards you and a soft smile on his face. Your thoughts scatter as you're caught in the warm intensity of a stare. You are interesting and fun, smart, and a whole lot of really good things to me. Suddenly you find yourself very aware of how close you're standing and your heart races. I'm going to... His eyes dart down to your lips, and your mind is made up. You lean in, capturing his lips with your own. He responds immediately, pulling you closer by the hips, and you follow along on instinct, taking hold of his shoulders and tilting your head to deepen the kiss. Parker. The way he breathes out your name sends a bolt of lightning through you, the kiss heating fast enough to make your head spin. It's like your hands have a mind of their own, grazing down his arms and moving to press against his stomach. Oh. He sucks in a sharp breath, and muscles contracting beneath your touch, and you jerk back slightly, surprised at your own daring. What? Was that okay? His eyes are glazed, his lips slightly swollen from kissing. His gaze finds yours, awareness and wonder creeping into his expression. Better than okay. He ducks closer, breath ghosting against your lips. I want to kiss you again. You answer by pressing your lips to his and pressing your hands back to his stomach. As your tongue finds his, you drag your hands up his abs, relishing the smooth, heated skin beneath your touch. Suddenly, his arm wraps tighter around your waist, making his weight shift. You lose balance. Parker. He catches you, but you're too late. You fall onto the bed. Gabriel's sprawling on top of you. Yeah, too late indeed. Oof. Hastily lifting himself off, you find yourself with your faces inches apart, Gabriel's hands planted on either side of your head. Are you okay? Dude, it's a bed! You sling your arms around his neck. Better than okay. And before you know it, you're kissing again, more intensely than before. It's like there's a fire inside of you, building in intensity as your hands find all the bare skin they can. A shiver runs through you as his hand trails down your side, your name a reverent whisper on his lips. Parker. You jolt at the sound of an unfamiliar alarm, and he breaks the kiss. Shoot. He scrambles off of you, digging through his pockets and pulling out his phone to silence it. I gotta go. I'm gonna be late for my shift at the children's ward. Oh yeah, you should definitely go do that. You sit up in a daze, lips feeling puffy, head feeling floaty. His eyes lock with yours and you see his reluctance to leave. I'm sorry to just run out of here so suddenly. He steps in front of you, then leans down to press a gentle kiss to your forehead. Lips against your skin, he lets out a soft murmur. I'll see you soon. Before you can respond, he's gone. Cheeks hot, you collapse back onto your bed. What just happened? Hopefully he grabbed his shirt from the dryer before he left. Or he vampire speed ran without a shirt. And then your mom's gonna find the shirt. Later, you're bringing another load of laundry up to your room, minus his shirt, which has gone missing, when you hear a pebble clatter against your window. Gabriel? Wondering why he wouldn't just appear inside, you walk over to the window and push it open, sticking your head out to see... Hey there, jailbird. Cass, what are you doing here? Don't tell me you're going to start reciting poetry. You fold your arms on the windowsill, resting your head atop them. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks. Is that the kind of thing that gets you all hot and bothered? No. I don't know about hot, but bothered is you trying to break my window with those rocks you were throwing. Seriously? But that's what all the bad girls in the lame high school romance movies do. No, I thought that was the guys. I've never seen a girl chuck a rock at a guy's window in a movie. I'm serious. Gasp. Are you saying in this hypothetical high school romance movie you're my bad girl love interest? I mean, I'm the only good option you've got. You laugh, feeling a thrilled flutter in your chest at the flirtation. Though your mind flashes back to your kiss with Gabe from earlier, you feel a slight prickle of guilt. You gonna invite me in already, or what? Oh, okay. I forgot about inviting vampires in or not. What's up with the formalities? I know that old legend about vampires needing an invite isn't true, by the way. Gabriel was just here. He had no problem busting into my room uninvited. Though she's down on the ground, you can see her posture go rigid. Yeah, I thought I smelled a golden boy around here. He must have shown you a boring time if you're still in the house. Remember the feeling of his mouth on yours. You feel a shiver, the memory anything but boring. You don't have to leave the house to have a good time. Do you think you could show me a better time? Oh, I know I could. Oh, yeah, here we go. Big promises, though I wonder if you could live up to them. Don't think that will be a problem. I just so happen to be heading somewhere extra thrilling today. Figured I'd see if you wanted to join. That sounds like the kind of thing that would get me into more trouble if I got caught. That's the entire point of it being thrilling. What's the use of doing something without a little risk? You know what they say about comfort zones, new girl. That when you're stagnant, stuck in the same old day in and day out. But trouble, that's where life shows you what's really it's about. Cass, you know I'm grounded, right? This isn't just me sticking to my comfort zone. It's me literally being ordered to stay inside my house as punishment. She lets out a mock gasp as though she hadn't realized, and she imitates your tone. Oh, you do realize I'm sneaking you out, right? If you're game, that is. You bite your lip, torn, knowing that you'd have to have hell to pay if your mom found out, but also knowing that you're dying for a little thrill by now, and that Cass is bound to give you just that. I'm game. That's what I like to hear. You stifle a gasp as Cass leaps through your window and swoops you up in her arms. Better hold on, we didn't even have to pay for a diamond choice. And jumps right back out. Cass. A little while later, you end up down an alley outside an abandoned-looking building downtown. Wow, this looks, like something. Nervous? Even though you do feel a twist of nerves in your stomach, Cass's knowing grin licks a kicks of stubbornness, and you square your shoulders. As if... well then. You shiver as her eyes turn silver, fangs extending. She pushes in the door, motioning you into the darkness beyond. After you. You take a rickety staircase below ground, ending in a huge room packed wall to wall with people jostling around a fighting ring. Wow. But as you step off the staircase, you catch a gleam of silver eyes, sharply fanged smiles all around, and realize it isn't just normal people you're in a room with. Smash him! Oh, that looked like it stung. Oh my god, everyone here is a vampire. Come on, I want to get a good view. You hurry to keep up with her, arms stiff by your sides as you approach the crowd. You know Cass wouldn't want to hurt you, but you aren't sure she's the best judge of what's a safe human space. A worry that is realized as a couple of familiar sets of silver eyes meet yours from the crowd. You're kidding me. What is she doing here? Little human didn't have enough of a showdown on the mountain. We already went over this, Margot. Remember, Parker's with me. Don't see what difference that's supposed to make. The difference is, it means Parker's got a right to be here, because I say so. That's right. Cass brought me as her guest. You know it could be an absolute wrong choice, but something tells you that if you don't stick up for yourself, things will just get worse. And you don't get to tell her what she can and can't do, so back off. What? So vampire fighting tournaments are like human date night fodder now? Cute Cass. Oh my god, can we not make this into a whole thing right now? Just then a familiar face appears out of the crowd, throwing an arm over your shoulder. Hey, Parker. Cass didn't tell me you were gonna be here. Funny how that makes everyone. Speaking of special guests, Margot nods towards a couple of unfamiliar vampires making a beeline towards your group, their speed a tad too quick to be natural. Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. Long time no see, Vinid Eyes. Fernanda, Remus, good to have you with us. That's an understatement. We're looking at a 14-2 record. It's going to be 15 once Brock finishes kicking your coven mate's ass. She nods towards the fighting ring where you see Scott being clobbered by another tough-looking vampire to cheers from the crowd. If anyone asks, I don't know him. Wait a second, Cass. Are you hanging out with a human? You jump as Fernandad and Remus lock their attention on you. You can't tell if they're narrowed gazes or simply interested or bloodthirsty. It'd be real weird if we had this thing called a charm on our wrist. Barker's a special case. You jump again as Cass's arm goes around your waist, the gesture partially supportive, partially possessive. The new vampires raise their eyebrows. I didn't know humans were allowed into vampire spaces in Crimson Beach. Well, I was brought by someone, like, you know, a special invite. So Crimson Beach vampires are allowed to date humans? That's cute. Remus's tone is mocking and Cass bristles at your side. Hey, listen! You know, wouldn't it be smarter, in a way, if, you dated a human? That way you have a free feed at any given moment. Just saying! So you're kind of dumb for not having a human in your life. Drop it, Remus, before I make you. Relax, Cassie. We aren't judging much. Whatever, I'm out of here. Grabbing Val, Margot drags her closer to the ring. Away from you, and Remus and Fernandad also drift towards the fight. Suppressing a shiver at what you went through, maybe even survived, you spent on Cass. Okay, what am I doing here, besides attracting so much unwanted attention? She frowns, seemingly puzzled by your response. What's the big deal? The big deal is I have no idea where we are, why you thought it was a good idea to even bring me here. This is the Venedai fighting pit. It's where we hang with vampires visiting from other covens. It's good for inter-coven ties. Frenada and Remus are from Flagstone Cove, a ley line up the coast. Thanks to us Venedais, the Flagstone Cove coven is one of our allies. She catches you glancing uncertainly back towards the fighting ring, which makes her look even more confused. I wanted you to see my world. Do you want to leave? Cass, what are we? For you to bring me here, to want me to see this part of your world, what does it mean to you? Her gaze locks on yours, growing intense. Somehow, despite all the noise in the room, all you hear is her. You still don't get it? A bell goes off, drawing your attention back to the fighting ring. As another defeated Venedai is dragged out of the cage, Brock scans the crowd and spots Cass. Harlow, why don't you get in here and show me a real fight? Your head spins, or snaps back to Cass. Eyes wide, she shoots you a smirk. Seth, watch Parker. Wait, what are you... Well, she's already at the door to the ring, and with an acrobatic flip, she hops inside the cage. Door shuts. Seth settles up beside you. Don't worry, Cass is a regular here. Come on, you'll need to see this from up close. Your stomach swoops as Seth hooks an arm around you, whisking you to the edge of the ring in a heartbeat. You arrive just in time to see Cass flip Brock over his shoulder, slamming him into the ground on his back. As Brock's removed from the ring, Cass leans against the chain link, grinning down at you. So, impressed yet? We didn't even get to see the fight. I know a way you can impress your human, Cass. Take me and Fernanda together. Oh, but that's 2-on-1, so not fair. I picked Parker as my teammate. What? Why me? The human's right to be scared, Cass, but don't worry. We'll try not to permanently damage the Venedai's pet. Oh, hell no. Take that back. We will, if the human can beat us. Suddenly, you're surrounded by Cass's Vinidae friends. You gotta do it, human. This is a matter of pride. You're kidding, right? You back out of a direct challenge like that as Cass's guest here, and it makes the entire coven look weak. Cass leaps out of the open door, landing at your side, leaning in, her lips brushing against your ears. She whispers, "But with a little vampire blood in your system, you'll be anything but weak." A drink or blood diamond choice. I was wondering when we were going to get to a diamond choice in this whole scene, and I guess this is it. Give me some vampire blood. Knew you had it in you. Hang on. Scott swipes a shot glass from a nearby table, dumps it out, and then pricks his thumb with a fang. He watches a drop of the blood falls in the glass. Ooh, I like the way you think. You watch as Val and Margot bite their thumbs as well, each adding a drop of their blood to Scott's, and Margot thrusts the glass in your hand. Take ours. This way you'll be sure to kick those Flagstone Cove asses. Don't let us down, human. I won't, but I'm not doing it for you. You turn to Cass, holding out the glass, waiting for her to add her blood. I'm doing this for you. Be honest, you're doing this for you. She slashes her finger on her fang. The drop of blood falling into the shot glass, you can't deny her words that you do want to prove yourself to the watching vampires. And you can't deny that you badly want to experience the rush of vampire blood flowing through your veins once again. You swirl the blood in the glass, bringing it to your lips. Take a sip. Nah, I'm gonna toss that shit back. Let's go. Here we go. You down the shot of blood as quickly as possible, fighting back a cringe as the rusty taste prickles your tongue. Metal. You feel a familiar, head-spinning rush go through you, heightening your senses and filling you with a sensation of invincibility. I miss this. Let's get it on already. As your opponents leer down at you and you smirk at Cass. Meet you in the ring. Feeling the energy pulsing through you, you leap into the ring, the crowd cheering in anticipation as chain links around you. A second later, Cass lands beside you, her grin invigorated as the door slams shut, trapping you inside with your opponents. Come on, Flagstone Cove, give us your worst. You feel a thrill as time seems to slow down, letting you pick out individual cheers from the crowd. The slightest shift in Remus and Fernandad's wait as they prepare to strike. And then there's a blur of movement on your left side, and you glance that way to see Remus's fist coming at you. Ha! With a surge of speed through your limbs, you easily duck and throw a return punch, making impact with the shoulder. What? That's all you got, Flagstone? Hell yeah, get him, human. Oh, it's on. And the fight begins in earnest. As you face off against Fernanda, and parrying her blows with ease, you steal glances at Cass, going head-to-head with Remus. Like and then show, new girl? You start as you realize you've been staring, while still fighting at the same time. Can I get some of this to help with my homework? She snorts while he let out a shout as Remus throws an elbow, splitting her lip. Cass, it's fine. She touches her mouth and her fingers come away with smeared blood, inside of her lip gashed by her own fang. How's that taste, Harlow? With a jolt, you see that Fernanda abandons your combat to rush Cass, doubling up against her with Remus. But as your muscles tense, you're hit with warring instincts on how to respond, and you wonder if it has anything to do with the cocktail of vampire blood you drank. I'll cut her off with enhanced speed, charge and tackle from behind. Caught him. Remembering how Margot was the first of the hunting party to find your first time in the woods with Cass, you bend your knees. You kick off the ground, and suddenly you're moving so fast the time seems to slow to a crawl around you. Get away from her. You're in front of Fernanda in a fraction of a second, and throwing a punch to her gut, knocking the wind out of her. She tumbles backwards, and Cass lets out a low whistle behind you. Not that I was asking for the save, but nice save. Figured I deserved the chance to show off. The crowd roars, and you spot the Venedi's watching in an array of shock and delight. How did... Ooh, crush them, Parker. You Flagstone Cove vamps been drinking from bunnies or something? Those moves are pathetic. Remus helps her Fernanda to her feet, a snarl on his lips. We were going easy for the human's sake, but I guess we just don't have to play nice anymore. Before you know it, they're redoubling their attacks. The four of you flit around the ring, striking and dodging, blocking and rolling. We're neck and neck. How can Cass and I get the upper hand? Parker, Cass, props! Seth's voice rings out, and you see him motioning towards where there's some spectators have pulled out the cage door to throw in some fighting props. Eyeing the array of weapons, you make a split-second decision. A chair, a bat. You grab hold of the bat and heft it over your shoulder. Alright, who's up first? Cass looks at you, a smile of understanding spreading across her face. With each duck and dodge, Cass backsteps a little closer towards you, bringing Remus and Fernanda your way. Stand still! Oh, is that what you wanted me to do? I'll pass. She ducks, and his eyes go wide, and when she realizes the trap she's walked into. But you're welcome to stand still if you'd like. Swinging the bat, tearing at the clothing with the barbed wire as you send her flying. Parker, other side. Without even looking, you swing around, hitting Remus so hard that the bat cracks in half. Ah, not the face! Oh, is your rock days over? You toss the broken bat aside as Cass comes up next to you, smirking. Ready to finish this? You glance at your opponents, noticing them keeping to the other side of the ring, starting to look winded. I would be, but they seem too scared to get any closer. Your head's getting a little too big for your shoulders, human. How about we knock it off? They launch themselves across the ring in a blur, but you just grin. Now I'm ready to finish this. Cass, throw me at the air duct. Whatever you say, new girl. I kind of want to know where this goes. Cass grips your hips, tossing you upward. You flip around in midair, aiming your feet at the duct and bending your knees. And as soon as your feet touch down against the metal, you launch yourself straight back down, while catching an arm around each of the opponents and slamming them to the ground. I was kind of wondering where that would go. They scramble for one final rally, encircling you and Cass and forcing you back to back. They're running out of steam, but the vampire blood is coursing through you like lightning. Cass, arms. Catching your drift, she links her arms with yours, securing you tightly to her back. Just don't get dizzy. She starts spinning, and you scissor kick through the air as you turn, knocking Remus and Fernanda to the ground one final time. I'm so over this. Damn human, I'll admit it. You deserve to be here after all. Beaming, you roll around to face Cass, who seems to be trying to hold back a grin. We won. No surprises there. Admit it, Margot, the humans got game. Psst, whatever. But when you look at the group of Venedi's, Margot's doing a poor job of hiding how impressed she is. Obviously she's got game. Cass wouldn't hang out with just any human. Finally catching on, huh, Scott? You look over at Cass, who gaze slides from Scott to you. Her pupils are dilated from the excitement of the fight, and blood swells at the corner of her lips. The way she grins at you is electric. Parker's different. Your breath catches, because from Cass, she may as well be shouting to all the vampires gathered that you're important to her. I'll kiss her. Without a second thought, you grab Cass by the lapels of her jacket and pull her towards you, kissing her hard. She kisses you back, immediately chuckling against your lips as you gasp at her intensity. Remind me to take you out to the fight club more often. Listen, rule number 1, we don't talk about that. You shiver as she moves back in, lips moving against yours, beckoning yours to part. She grabs your hips, pulling you flush against her, deepening the kiss when you open your mouth to gasp. Yes. The crowd starts cheering even more raudely, but you lose track of it, completely unable to sense anything but your lips on Cass's. Eventually, you become aware of the tang of blood on your tongue, and you jolt back. Did you just... What? Voice is deep, rough, making you shiver, and then you spot the dried blood on the corner of her lip, where her wound had been. Without thinking, you cup her neck in your palm, leaning in to swipe your tongue along the blood. Cass's breath hitches. New girl? You faintly aware of the crowd going wild and feel your face heat. Still, you hold Cass's gaze boldly. Let's do this again sometime. I'll hold you to that. Later, after the blood boost wears off, you and Cass leave the fight club. Cass grins over at you as you walk down the alley. So, how's it feel to have my Vinidae crew on your side? That was your plan all along, wasn't it? I figured if I'm gonna be spending so much time with you that it'd make things easier if my coven also realized you aren't like other humans. That's kind of sweet in a very you way. Kind of, please. I'm the sweetest there is. She lowers her eyelashes, looking at you with a sultry gaze. That little taste of my blood was proof you can't get enough. Why don't you give it another go? I'm generous like that. You reach over and lace your fingers with hers, feeling a flutter of nerves as you await her response. Maybe we can revisit that idea when we're somewhere other than a seedy alley outside of a vampire fighting ring? What? Not romantic enough setting for you? A delighted shiver runs through you as her fingers tighten in yours. You humans are so needy. Oh my God and sweet baby Jesus Christ. Here I was worried about getting back in time for your mom to come home, but lo and behold, Mom's in a seedy vampire alley! Alright, here we go. Parker Reese, what in the world do you think you're doing? Breaking your rules again. You jump as you follow the voice to the end of the valley where your mother stands, furious. Oh no. Oh yes. Her eyes find Cass's with a withering glare, and you hastily pull your hand out of Cass's, but not without your mom tracking the motion with a growing frown. A young woman leading my daughter out of a sketchy alleyway, while she should be in her room grounded. You must be Cass. I see my reputation's preceded me. Oh no, don't do this, Cass. You bite back a groan as your mom's voice turns shrill, echoing off the walls of the alley. How dare you sneak Parker out of the house? How dare you take her, wherever this is? And it's not even just today. Ever since we moved here, you've done nothing but corrupt my daughter. Mom, Cass didn't make me do anything. I chose to sneak out today. It was my own decision. I'm an adult, and I'm sick of being locked up at home like a little kid, so don't take this out on Cass. You do not get to take that tone with me. To your dismay, some of the vampires have come up from the fight club and start to watch the argument, low laughter rumbling among them. Uh-oh, someone's in trouble. I think Parker's out past her bedtime. Ignoring them, your mom's jaw clenches as she stares at you. Funny running into you now as I was on my home to talk to you. There's been a startling development in the murder cases. Why would you announce this to everyone, you idiot? The mood suddenly shifts among the vampires and you can feel the tension in the air. Mom, please, let's talk about this at home. No, Parker! I think you're gonna want to hear this. Seeing as it was your shoe that was found at the first crime scene. What? What? That's... I've never been near that crime scene. Don't you dare try to lie to me right now. I want the truth, Parker, for once. It's complicated. Complicated? Listen, Ma, I got a secret. Listen, I love human flesh, man. She whirls on Cass, angrier than you've ever seen her. I think it's pretty simple. I think this was all on Cass. What? I know you dragged Parker to that party, to the crime scene. You'd been a bad influence on my daughter from the start. I wasn't even there with Cass. I went with Gabriel. The silence that follows sends a chill through you. You realize that in front of a horde of vampires, you just confirmed that one of their own was at the crime scene. I mean, I think it's time you and your mom leave. I think that's an excellent idea. Your mom grabs you by your arm, and you're too panicked to even look at Cass for help as she drags you away. What is Cass gonna do, bite her? Hypnotize her, that's what she'll do. Later that night, you pace back and forth in your bedroom, trying in vain to keep your mind from racing. You stop in tracks when you hear a knock on your window, the sound making your stomach drop, even though you had been expecting it. Time to face the music. You swallow down your fear and open the window, allowing in the vampire who waits outside. You know what this is. You've been called to the Nexus. I understand, and I won't resist. This is my last chance. I have to do whatever it takes to protect my mom once and for all. Even if it means this time, I'll die. You arrive at the tribunal chamber, the atmosphere more hostile than it's ever been. Some vampires shout and jeer at you from the wings. What are we even holding this for? Just kill her! While others just seethe in rage. You try your best to stay calm as Clyde delivers you to the center of the room. You feel Astoria's hateful stare on you, and when you look over to Lewin, his is fixed in the same expression. If we all are here to let us begin the trial of Parker Reese, the third trial. You flinch at his icy tone and the fury clear on his face. Where to even begin? Lewin spared the life of this human under very specific terms that she deter her mother from her line of investigation. Not only has the human failed spectacularly to uphold those terms, but she somehow managed to make things even worse. Before you can blink, she's standing right in front of you, features twisted in rage. Now your mother will be looking into Gabriel, which brings suspicion right to the Coven's doorstep. Ooh, she is very angry. I'm sorry. I tried to get her off the vampire's trail, I promise. If I may. While I admit implicating Eldahar was an obvious misstep, I feel we have to take into account the human's intent to follow through with the terms. I hate to admit it, but with your own reports at the hospital, Lewin, the human tried on more than one occasion to set her mother on a different path. This is true. But these attempts were failures. It doesn't matter what the intentions were. What matters are the results, and the results put us all in danger. This worthless human mortal has caused us more trouble since her arrival than we've had in over 100 years. Her and her mother must die. Your blood turns to ice as Lewin's penetrating eyes fall on you. This is your one chance to speak on your own behalf. Do you have anything to say for yourself? I know I screwed up, and I'm prepared to face the consequences, whatever they may be. But I'm begging you, please let my mom live. She doesn't know the truth, and she won't find out. You work with her at the hospital. You know how much of a realist she is. She'll never come to the conclusion that vampires are real. That is all you have to say. I find myself unimpressed, for an agreement is an agreement, and you broke your end. Lewin's eyes flash silver, and the words dry in your mouth. His eyes not leaving yours, he waves a hand, and the door swings open to reveal Clyde dragging someone else inside. Let me go! Help! Oh, for the love of... She would have never known, you idiot! Okay, you know, alright. Well, hey Mom, this is why I've been acting so strangely. Welcome to the Coven. We're both about to die. No. You try to run towards her, but an elder grabs you, their grip like iron. Your mom's head snaps in your direction at the sound of your voice, her face terrified. Parker, what's going on? Well, Mom, see, you wouldn't shut the fuck up in the alley, you see. Mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean... But the elder drags you to the center of the tribunal chamber, cutting off your apologies and forces you to your knees. Just then the doors burst open again. Parker! Gabriel fights his way towards you, shoving other vampires aside as he forces his way through the crowd. Let her go! One of the vampires grabs Gabriel by the back of the neck and slams him onto the ground as the others pin him. No! As he struggles futilely, Clyde pulls your mom to the center of the chamber and forces her to her knees. What? Why is this? You're across the chamber from each other, forced to watch each other die. Astoria comes to stand behind your mother as Lewin takes his place behind you. And at that moment, you know you've lost. Mom. I'm sorry it had to come to this. Astoria yanks your mom's head back and bares her fangs, ready to rip your mom's throat out. Parker! The fear in your mom's voice as she weakly calls your name breaks your heart. You blink back tears so you can see her clearly. Mom, close your eyes. It'll be easier if you don't look. You won't be as scared, but remember, I love you. I love you too. Your mom takes a shaky breath. Her eyelids flutter shut. You close your own as well. You know the end is moments away, but you find some comfort in the darkness. I'm sorry I couldn't keep us safe. Lewin yanks your head back, but just as his fangs touch your neck. Help! Something awful's happened! Lewin! Your eyes fly back open to see Nicole burst into the Nexus. Both Lewin and Astoria release you and your mom, their attention snapping Nicole. She rushes to the center of the room. There had better be a good reason for this interruption. There is. Harrison and I were in the woods. We found the Venedi hunting party that went out earlier. They spit it out. They're dead. What? Their bodies, they were arranged in a circle. And there was blood all over them, like some sort of ritual. A ritual murder? I cannot believe it. Were there any survivors? No, but one member of the hunting party was missing. Who? Harlow. No. Cass. Interesting. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe and let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. What do you think will happen? Has happened? I don't know. Any speculations? Any theories? Without further ado, if you want to support the channel, there is the thanks as well as the join features. There's a link to one of those also in the description, as well as a few links to support the channel if you're not able to do so by simply sharing the video, sharing the channel. Getting more people to come join is a great way of supporting the channel if you're not able to. I understand that right now a lot of us are going through a lot of things. Trust me, I know, okay? I just went through a lot physically, mentally, psychologically, and everything else yesterday. And I'm slowly trying to recover from that. But in terms of financial, yeah, no, listen, anyone got about $10,000? I'm serious? Yeah, no, that's a talk and a discussion for another time in regards to medical things. Yeah, I just know, that everyone's going through a tough time right now, and if you can't give, you can't give. If you can, you can, It goes towards diamonds, VIP, doing games, keeping the lights on, covering medical, all of that adds up and goes somewhere that is of put to use immediately, so just keep that in mind. Without further ado, love your beautiful faces. I don't really know what to do or think about this right now, in regards to this book. I'm gonna be honest, because we have this unknown. We have this unknown that hasn't been spoiled yet, hasn't been shared, hasn't been seen. Could it be hunters that are tracking them, even in the ley lines? Possible. Could it be something like we had in Nightbound, where there's other creatures that are attacking, like, say, for instance, werewolves and whatnot? Who knows? Who really knows? Or it could it be someone just throwing everybody off the trail, and this could just be another vampire? Who knows? We're gonna find out soon, hopefully. But yeah, let's see what happens. Peace out.